Welcome back to Division Therapy. The Mets are the best team in baseball. I can't believe I'm saying it. They're the best team in baseball. What do you agree, right, Liam? You beat the best team in
Oh
baseball.
man.
You get to
Oh
call yourself
man.
the best team in baseball.
That's certainly one way to look at it. Obviously, we will certainly ask if the Braves are the best team in baseball because I don't know if that's the case, but I
Mm,
would definitely say that that was a huge series win for the Mets. The Mets took advantage of a Braves pitching staff, especially Braves starters who just look abysmal, look terrible,
yeah,
look like they are just in their bag right now, not in a good way.
right.
But then again, I'm like, that's not just the Braves. I'm like, the Mets, I think this was probably one of their best series other than the Yankees series
Oh yeah.
earlier
Oh yeah.
earlier this year. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is the best that they've looked. They really turned it on. And I'm like, everything truly went right. I'm like, even a ball being thrown off a freaking
That
net
was
pole.
crazy.
I've
It was
never
so
seen that.
crazy. I've also
I've
never
never
seen that. Yeah.
I've never seen that. I don't know how he did that.
If he did it
Insane.
1,000 times after that, he would never do it again. But it just so
Yeah,
happens that he did
it
it.
just
Like
just so
it's
happened that that
crazy.
happened. That was just crazy. It's so honestly just so funny because I it's crazy to say that we've been doing this podcast. For those that don't know, I got a chance to take a trip to Houston to go see a World Cup game, and so because of that, I actually didn't really get a chance to watch a lot of these games. But I always am following on the game day app
Hmm.
so as not to be distracting. And I saw it and I was like, oh, did he miss like a dive or whatever? And then I opened up Twitter and I was like, there's
Crazy.
no way. So it's just a
Yep.
combination of really bad pitching, some great at bats, and individual performances from the Mets. Just obviously made this very successful. Obviously, it wasn't a sweep. Obviously, the Braves did at least
Yep.
get one
Yep. They
back.
got one.
Yeah, just got one back. So I think what we'll do is we're going to just kind of go back and forth and just kind of talk about the highlights from these games. So to start off, game one, talk to me about the pitching and how.
Game one was so nice. Bo
Yeah, yeah.
Bichette, finally,
Ooh,
finally.
man, that
We have
that
been
was
waiting for
that
this
was a
day, Bo
hanger,
Bichette.
bro.
It's so funny. Bo Bichette, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, just like an insane, insane game from Bo, and you love to see it. And it's funny. Like right after this game, or like after game two, I think there was a report from Bob Nightingale that was like, "Yeah, Bo Bichette plans to opt out of his contract after this year." And it's like that's
Yeah,
all
I
it
saw
took.
that.
Like that's all it took. Like 2 games, 6 RBIs. It is crazy though, for as bad as he has been. He has more RBIs than some like really elite players. Ellie De La
Yeah,
Cruz, Gunnar Henderson,
yeah.
Caminero. Like the guy has just had a lot of RBIs success, and so yeah, it was a career high. Tied his career high with 6 RBIs over your boy Spencer Strider. We'll get into it obviously a little bit more, but
Yeah, man, that second swing for that grand slam, because obviously the first
oof,
one absolutely pimped,
yeah,
hanging
yeah.
hanging slider. It's just an awful pitch,
Hmm.
and he absolutely pimped that. That second one, the inside out kind of line drive home run. I'm like, I don't know what the statistics are on if that's like how many ballparks that's getting out, and obviously
Mm,
that's getting out in Yankee Stadium, but
right.
I'm like, I'm like, that was like honestly a really weird home run swing that just, had that right kind of exit velocity and launch angle to
Yeah.
be able to get out of there. But yeah, that was kind of a crazy, crazy second home run. Obviously, the first one was absolutely
Let's
pimped.
see. Let
So,
me see if I can find
mhm.
where the home runs would be at. I can
Yeah,
look at that in a little bit.
and
Yeah.
listen, the thing with that first game, right, was y'all got out to the 2-0 lead. Obviously, Bichette and Juan Soto both hit absolute bombs, and then it was like, okay, but then hey, in the top of the second, Braves got right back. They made it
Oh yeah.
2-2, and yeah, and it honestly kind of felt like, okay, maybe we're going to see, a little bit more of a competitive game. And obviously it ended at 7-5. So the Braves did kind of make a comeback as the game wore on. But yeah, I'm like, they made it 2-2 with singles respectively from Yaz and Dom Smith, who both, that was the only hits that they had in the series, or I believe Dom might have had one more in the final game of the
Hmm.
series. But yeah, so they made it 2-2, but then man, the grand slam, I'm like
I mean,
that
that's
just
the
kind
thing
of,
with the Braves,
took
though.
all the
Like,
Mets. Yeah.
yeah, like the Mets were up big, and I was like, I don't know. I still think the Braves are winning this game. Like if you
Yeah.
like if you were to ask me, that's just kind of the path that the Mets have been on, and that more so that the Braves have been on, that they are down big early in the game and they just scratch and claw. It's like the 2023 team. It was the same
Yeah.
thing. I remember joking to you that I was like, you could bet on FanDuel like the Braves being down in the seventh inning and win a crap ton of money because they're bound to come back. I found it was
Yeah,
going to be
and they had the
13,
most.
13 ballparks that home run was out in.
Okay,
So
so not yeah, I'm
less than
like
half.
not yeah,
Yeah.
less than half ballparks. So yeah, definitely a weirder swing, but hey, it got out. He made it happen, and obviously putting that barrel on the ball and getting that specific kind of barrel
Hmm.
in those moments has something he struggled with. So he made it happen. He got it out and got that grand slam, and really, at least at that moment, got that kind of back. But obviously, as we said, the Braves did kind of slowly claw back. A homer from Matt Olson, and then a couple RBIs from Ozzie and Eli White. But at the end of the day, was it bases loaded or two men on for Olson, or one? It was one guy
Yeah,
on
one.
for.
Yeah, he was the tying run, and they
Yeah,
made it close. They
they
made
made it
Mets
close.
fans
Devin, yeah,
sweat.
yeah,
Yeah,
Williams was, not making super great pitches, and that he was really hanging a lot of pitches there in that final save
but that's
appearance.
what, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
If I'm the Braves fan watching that game, I take that as a win that we had to, the Mets had to expend their best reliever.
yeah,
It's like in
but
a game where
yeah,
you thought like maybe it's over, it's 7-1 or whatever it was, before the Braves really came back. It's like you take that as like a little victory. Um,
but I
but
think the biggest news, obviously, from this game was
hmm
Spencer Strider coming out after only 3 innings. His fastball velocity was down to 88 to 89 miles an hour.
it was weird that they brought him back in
Yeah,
the fourth inning. He was down
yeah,
considerably in the third inning already. Also,
yeah.
just like not to say I told you so, but no, I'm playing. But he's
No, no,
always
what?
he's,
No,
he's always
100%,
struggled. He's always
100%.
struggled against the Mets, though. I like that is just like he just has a tough time with the Mets, and yeah, it just didn't look good. His pitches didn't have any movement on them. The fastball velocity was way down, and come to find out that he is seeing Dr. Keith Meister. He's being shut down for 4 weeks. No structural damage so far, but honestly, if you were to ask me, and I'm curious if you agree, this does feel like it's going to be like a slow burn into he's done for the season.
Well, no, I think he's done for his career. Like, I think it's over.
Wow.
I genuinely, because like the thing about Spencer Strider was the fastball. He had this insanely elite fastball that he was throwing 100 miles an hour to 101 miles an hour 30 to 40 times a game. Like
Mhm.
that was what he was able to do, and that people were sitting on that fastball because they were like, I have to sit
Yeah, you
on it
have
because
to,
like
yeah.
yeah, I have to sit on it, and then they were just completely fooled, and his off speed wasn't ever particularly super great,
Yeah.
but it was just the fact that they had to sit on the fastball that made it. But if he doesn't have a fastball, which I don't like, for one, he's never going to get, clearly he's never going to get back to it. And some people say, you have the Tommy John, this would be his second Tommy John, because obviously his
Hmm.
first Tommy John was when he was at Clemson, that they can potentially come back. But I don't know, man. Like, I just think that some arms just can't handle it. Some arms just can't handle it. They
Yeah.
can't make it. Those elbows are weaker than others.
Well,
I'm like,
yeah, I know a
um,
lot of players that have kind of attributed the arm, the elbow, all of it to a rubber band, and it's eventually going
yeah,
to snap. It's just how many times can you pull it before it snaps. And it just seems like, yeah, that his snaps a little quicker than some other people, because then you look at Jacob Misiorowski right now. The 101 that Strider was throwing looks like child's play compared to Misiorowski, who's hitting
exactly.
105 and like staying at like 103 for the whole game.
And obviously he's super young, and
Hmm.
obviously if I'm, obviously not to get too far away from Spencer Strider, but and obviously telling a kid like Miz, hey, don't throw as hard as you can is
Right.
difficult. But I'm saying, hey, man, maybe 102 is enough. Maybe 101 is enough.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah, I
I
remember. I
honestly,
remember Degrom last year kind of said as much that he was holding back. He could pitch faster, but he wanted to locate more. He wanted to save his bullets essentially. Because
yeah,
yeah,
and
you
yeah,
have the Braves who are poised for a huge playoff push that are now down one of their best starters. You think for his career, I think at least for the regular season.
I just don't like if I'm Alex Anthopoulos, obviously Anthopoulos is very loyal to his players and to a fault sometimes. And I obviously don't think right now that he's done, but I think that this is going to end up being Tommy John eventually at some point. Maybe he'll fight back to it and eventually be back next year. But then I think we're going to see next year that it's not going to be the bounce back. The velocity's still going to be where it's at.
So you think
And I
his
just
best years are behind him by
Oh,
a long shot?
100%.
Yeah.
I do not think that he will ever get back to the Spencer Strider of old. And it's really sad because Spencer Strider is honestly a really super great guy. He's an
Hmm.
ally. He does a lot of work with the Pride community and the LGBTQIA community. He does a lot of work there and seemingly is honestly a really good dude. So it
Yeah.
sucks and is really sad. And unfortunately, that's baseball. That is
Baseball
the harsh
season.
is it's just kind of how things happen sometimes. Some
Hmm.
people got it and some people don't. And a lot of people don't realize that with this velocity, some people are going to be able to make it happen. It's just a matter of time when that Tommy John takes place. And then if you can bounce back from it, and I just don't know if Spencer Strider can. So it's very sad. It's going to be a tough look for the Braves moving forward to see what they do with him and if they truly believe that he's going to bounce back. And listen, prove me wrong. Please put on the hard work, figure it out, and maybe
Hmm.
he does. But I don't know, man. I don't, and maybe it's
Maybe you
just
put
his
him in the
career is
bullpen
over.
too. Maybe you put him in the bullpen.
Yeah, and maybe his career's just over with the Braves. Maybe he will find, but I don't know if he's going to be a Brave for much longer.
What's his
Moving on.
contract like?
Let
Let me
me
see.
see
I'll
here.
look it up real quick.
Yeah. So game
Free
two, the
agent in
Braves.
2030. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So,
Yeesh.
but game two, Braves were able to come out with a win, and that was because of Eli White. Obviously, the replacement now for Ronald Acuna Jr., the man made out of glass. So we, and listen, I like the guy came through. He went 3 for 4, a home run, two doubles, was literally pretty much the entire offense for the Braves that day. Martin Perez, who now with Strider going down, I guess is our second best starter. Like I don't like at this point, this rotation
Yeah,
is
could be.
is so screwed up. Like I guess he is, which is crazy. Like if we were in playoff time right now with what we're looking at, he would start game two of a playoff series, which is literally insane.
Hmm.
But he went 5 great innings, and then the bullpen just did what they did. Mets looked a little sleepy from all the fun that they had in game one, so the Mets offense just was just kind of asleep at the wheel. Don't worry, they woke back up in game three. But yeah, so it was just a great kind of individual performance from Eli White to drive in those runs. Obviously, Michael Harris also had a home run to make it 3-1. And yeah, so they got that win, and they are still one of only 2 teams to not have a 4-game losing streak. So as of
Interesting
this,
stat. Really interesting stat.
yeah. So still,
Yeah,
still kind of
it's
at that point where it's like, because obviously Braves fans are just so annoying on Twitter, man. It is insane. Like, yes, I am very concerned, and I'll get to my panic meter
hmm
about this rotation, but genuinely, till we are consistently losing and the Phillies are consistently winning, like both of those are happening at the
right.
same time, because throughout this season, it has been Phillies win, or Braves lose and Phillies lose for the most part.
Hmm.
Like it looks like the Phillies are currently beating the Marlins, so it might be 7.5 tomorrow.
Right.
But I'm like, we're facing the Giants coming up, so I do feel pretty confident that we're going to be able to work. And obviously, we've played very well at home, so I do think we're going to bounce back here. But yeah, game three, man, the Mets
Yeah, well, hold
offense,
on. Wait,
absolute.
before we get to game 3, I just want to talk about game 2 from the Mets perspective. It really sucked because they wasted a really good Sean Manaea start.
They did. They did. Absolutely.
6 innings,
Yeah,
2
yeah.
Runs from Sean
Mhm.
Manaea in the year of 2026.
And Mendoza was like, "That's who we need to see." Mendoza was like,
Exactly.
"That's the Manaea we need to see."
And you saw it,
Mhm.
and you couldn't do anything with it. Like you said, the
Yeah.
bats were just so asleep. I don't understand why he keeps hitting Melendez. Like every single game, this guy plays MJ Melendez, and MJ Melendez had that stretch for maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks, where he was hitting the cover off the ball. He is
He did,
no
yeah.
longer
Yeah.
doing that. He is no longer doing that. Let me look up his stats for the last 2 weeks because it's ugly, man. Like it is so bad. I'm not sure. It kind of reminds me of similar.
And not just his offense, but his defense. His defense as
is
well.
awful too. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
pitiful. In June already, he's 5 for his last 27. In May, he was 6 for 47. Like that is bad. What are we doing? It reminds me of when Buck Showalter would play Daniel Vogelback, and he looked like he couldn't hit the baseball at all. And it was like everyone.
Oh, man.
Everyone at home knows that this guy is not cut out to be in this lineup right now. And that's the way it feels with MJ Melendez. And so it just feels like you're putting like an 0 for 4 in the lineup every single night. And he continues to do it. And I just don't really understand why. That's kind of what I just want to know why. I would love to talk to him because why are we why are we not playing Ewing every single day?
Yeah.
Like he's young, he can bounce back quickly. Why is he not playing every single day? I don't care if it's versus a lefty versus a righty. If this is why you brought these guys up. You always say in your press conferences.
But Ewing's a lefty, so there's no matchup. There's no matchup compatibility there, right?
Yeah, but I don't care. Like play him every day.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm confused. Like there's no excuse there, obviously for Melendez because both Ewing and Melendez are lefties. So I don't.
Yeah, it's so frustrating because it's like you say in your press conferences that like they're up here and they're gonna play and they're gonna play every day and we don't want them to be sitting in AAA, not getting at bats, whatever. And then you just don't play them. Like you gotta commit one way or the other. And pissed off AJ Ewing because like you were about to say, Game 3, the Mets just belt to ass against the Braves.
Yeah. Jeez, man.
Oh
Elder
my God.
Awful. Elder looked awful,
you hate
man.
to see it. Ewing was a triple shy of the cycle.
He was,
game.
He was
very early on in the game as well. Like
he was. He had his opportunity. He had his opportunity to try to make it happen.
And honestly, I thought this game was going south really quickly because bases loaded,
bases loaded
against Freddie Peralta. I've kind of been critical of Peralta all year, as I think he would be of himself. And I'm like, here we go, another Peralta start where he can't get out of the 5th inning, where he's gonna give up 4 runs like right off the bat. And he was able to limit the damage. Bases loaded, no outs. He strikes out Albies, which Albies just did not look great this series. Dominic Smith. Sack fly, and then he got the last guy to get out and only concede that 1 run. And then the Mets just went ape shit on Bryce Elder in the 1st inning, 4-0. RBI single Jared Young, who has been such a spark plug in this offense. AJ Ewing double to left field, and then like we were talking about that really weird Mike Yastrzemski throw that hit the pole, ricocheted. Like it was bizarre. Young scored from first, and it's just like. You just know from that point on that game is not going in your favor. If that happens to your team, you're like, okay, yep, baseball gods are not on our side.
Definitely got to be a tough one to win.
Yep.
Yeah, man. And as I said, Strider goes down, and then Elder has just an absolutely terrible start.
He's showing his true colors.
Yeah. I'm like, I would like to believe, hopefully, that he's gonna be able to bounce back. I definitely think that he's struggled more on the road, but I'm like, it was just terrible. Everything was just floating over the middle with him. He just didn't really have any sort of strikeout tool that he showed earlier this year with the slider and these last starts. But yeah, man, I'm like, it is starting to kind of get more into the swing of things where it's like, okay, things are getting warmer. Hitters are getting kind of more comfortable with their swings.
It was hot in New York this week, so anything that was a fly ball was pretty much out of there.
Yeah, and I honestly think that a lot of it has to do with as hitters get more comfortable and are potentially not as aggressive, because I honestly think that Elder has a lot of success against aggressive teams.
Hmm.
Teams that are swinging early, that are grounding out, that are not being as patient with him. I think that the Mets were very patient, had a real game plan against these Braves
Yeah,
pitchers, and
which is
it
a
paid off
change
into
because
a
they
yeah.
haven't been that all year.
No, not at all. So they locked in and they
And
made
it's
it happen.
also, it's
Yeah.
not lost on me that the Mets did not face the Braves at full strength, right? Like
Yeah.
Acuna's out, Baldwin's out. We didn't face Sale, so it's like, the Mets obviously, it's impressive to take the series against the Braves, but also like you're probably missing. You missed the best pitcher, you missed their best offensive player, and you missed probably their second best offensive player this year. And honestly, you could flip. You could decipher which name I'm choosing between Acuna and Baldwin, because Baldwin's been really freaking good.
Yeah. And lucky for us, obviously Baldwin is back and will be coming back
Hmm.
for this San Francisco series
I think you
starting
got to,
tomorrow.
yeah, I think you got to slow play him a little bit. Like
Yeah.
that's a tough injury to come back from. Soft tissue injuries, I'd rather play it very safe. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he's DHing for the first week.
Yeah, I will say Austin Wins was DFA, not DFA'd, excuse me, sent to AAA, so they're not going to be DHing
He
him.
looked like the oldest person I've ever seen in baseball.
Literally, freaking Santa Claus, dude. Like
He looks
like
weathered.
like my guy,
looks
my,
so
my 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 guy. I don't even know what he was doing defensively. I'm like maybe calling a couple good pitches. Yeah, that was a very head scratching move from AA. I feel like
Yeah.
Trump could have struck out and done
Mm.
the exact same thing that he was doing.
Or
It was a
Jonah
very
Heim.
or Jonah Heim. Gosh, man, that
I
still
don't
sucks.
understand
I,
that. I really still don't understand that
yeah,
one.
I still don't get that one. AA needs to answer for that because Heim has actually been super great for the A's.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the A's played in Vegas for a little bit, and it was
that
like
was
a home
crazy.
run derby,
That
and
was
then now they're
crazy.
back in Sacramento where they're still hitting pretty decently. So, yeah, really weird stuff in the catcher position, but yes, it does seem like Baldwin will be behind the plate and catching. Obviously switching off with Sandy Leone, which listen, man, Sandy Leone is incredible behind the plate. He's awesome. He calls a great game. He's a great clubhouse guy at the plate. It is just an automatic out. I would honestly just
Right.
rather they put it out on the board. If someone's on first, just give us an out. I'd rather not ground it. It's insane, man. Like the guy can.
Let
I
the
think he has
pitchers
like
hit. Let a pitcher hit.
literally at this point. I'm
Strider's a
like,
pretty good hitter, right? As a pitcher.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I miss Max Fried. I was watching some Max Fried hitting highlights that walk off in
Hmm.
2021 against the Marlins. Shout out Max Fried. Definitely one of the better Braves
DeGrom
hitting
too.
pitch.
DeGrom was elite.
Yes, DeGrom,
Yeah.
DeGrom, that slappy
Hmm.
swing. But yeah. So listen, at the end of the day, I'm my panic meter right now with the Braves is a 5 because of this rotation, man. Because I'm like, it is looking like Hurston Waldrop is he started his rehab assignments in the FCL, and then now he's at Double A. I think he's slowly going to get back to Triple A. But listen, man, I'm like, I don't know what Hurston's going to look like. I don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back, and it's certainly not a fix. So
Right.
clearly, we need a trade. Clearly, something needs to happen. We need at least one more genuine competitive starter, because if we don't, things are going to start to kind of get out of hand, because we've only won 2 of the last 5 starts for Sale. The last 2 starts, we've only scored 3 runs, and I think those have been once Sale has been out of the game. So I definitely think that there is genuine concern. As I've said, my actual panic meter, like, oh my God, we're going to blow the division lead, is not going to get to the point till, as I've said, those 2 things are lining up.
But
where
what is your
generally-
panic meter about the pitching staff? Just give me the panic meter about the pitching staff alone.
A panic for the pitching staff is a 10. I'm like, Sale is the only guy right now who I genuinely feel like can consistently get outs. Grant Holmes has really big issues with his control. Bryce Elder as I've said, people get more confident and are willing to kind of take more pitches. It's going to be
Hmm.
difficult for him. J.R. Ritchie, who, yes, shout out J.R. Ritchie. After that Spencer Strider start, he did come in for 5 innings
He mopped
of
it up. He mopped it up. Yeah.
scoreless baseball, which was much appreciated from them. But I
Hmm.
don't know what he's going to look like once it's starter time, because the last time he did, it was really bad. So and then obviously finally you have Martin Perez, who has been pretty consistent, but he is giving up runs. And every so often, as things get hotter and more difficult, and guys feel like there's more pressure to deliver
Right.
with the difficult starting pitching, I'm like, I definitely see this division lead shrinking, and then things are going to get more competitive. So I think that we wouldn't be in this position if we didn't have as much injuries. I am not going to
Hmm.
fault the actual team for this. I'm not upset with the team about this. Like, this is not me, like, yelling at a cloud right now. Like, we just
Right.
genuinely have so many injuries. So
Which was the
is
problem
it
last year too.
yeah, so is it a personnel issue? Are the trainers, like,
Trainers,
is
yeah.
in like internal stuff happening? Because, like, or is it just generally, it is just seriously
Coincidence. Yeah.
bad luck, continuously bad luck,
I don't
and
think the
it
bad
yeah.
luck is I know we were talking about the starters. The bad luck is not Acuna. Acuna does not do something correctly to be injured
Yeah.
all the time. He's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
stretching. He's not taking his
yeah.
rehab serious enough. There's something up because he keeps getting injured, and it's the same injury as before in the season. Like it's just like every time I check Twitter, I have a notification that Acuna has left the game. And as a Braves fan,
Yeah.
it's gotta be so
I
annoying.
don't. Yeah, I just don't really know at this point. I'm like, I love Acuna, but I'm like, is it? But what are we gonna get for Acuna? Is my question, because, like, other
You want
than
to trade him?
like, yeah, like, obviously I would think about it, I would entertain it,
Who
but
would want
what?
him though with this track record?
I'm like, a smaller market team would definitely want him.
Put butts
I'm
in
like, shoot,
seats. Yeah.
shoot, like an A's team, once they move to Las Vegas, I'm
Could you
sure they
imagine
would
if he
love.
goes to a minor league stadium? He wouldn't take anything
I
seriously.
or like, I don't know, go over to the Chicago White Sox, man. I don't know,
They have something
play with
cooking. Yep.
yeah, play with your brother. Like, I don't know, like, obviously I just don't know how much, and I think that obviously the Braves still value him so much because he is a former MVP. So I think that the Braves would just ask too much, and I don't know if AA would kind of meet people in the middle here.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It is just continuous injury after continuous injury. It's really sad because obviously everybody misses 2023, but it just doesn't feel like he's going to continuously stay healthy. But then again, if he does go somewhere where, if he's only playing 70, 80 games a year, but he's putting butts and seats and making it happen, then obviously he can still have a career that way. But it is looking really brutal. And obviously we have Eric Hartman, who we're hoping that is
Hmm.
going to kind of move through the system here and potentially be able to hold down right field if Ronald Acuna Jr. does go, as we see him hopefully develop into Double A and maybe get to Triple A next year. So obviously there are definitely some outfield prospects that can definitely, a John Heel as well. So we'll see, but it's very difficult. I just don't really know what's going to happen now. But yes, my overall panic meter with the Braves is a 5. The rotation is a 10, and I guess we'll see. But I'm still confident that we are going to be able to compete. I think we're going to bounce back against San Francisco here. But yeah, the pitching is very concerning. What about you?
Yeah, I'll go with a 5 as well. Because now they're starting to make me believe a little bit, and I hate that.
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
was
I
so.
don't know if I would believe quite yet. There's
No, I
a
know
lot of
they're also playing right now
very
and
good
down
teams.
9-0. So,
Yes, I saw
um,
that. I saw that.
so
Yes, the honeymoon period is quickly resolved there against the
yes,
Reds.
so two steps forward, one steps back. That's
Yep,
kind of
yep.
how it is.
But that's been the
As
whole.
much
But
as
that's been the
yeah,
whole season.
yeah, as much as I want to shout from the rooftops that the Mets are the best team in baseball because they beat the best team in baseball, I then have to humble myself and look at the standings because they're in last place in the division and they're 5.5 out of a wild card spot. Because,
Yeah.
as great as it is that they took 2 of 3 from the Braves, the Marlins are 10-2 in June. So they have,
Yeah.
not made up any ground. The Nationals are still playing good baseball. The Phillies, we've obviously talked about a lot, that they kind of bounced back once they fired their manager. And so a lot has to go right for the Mets to really make a run. With that being said, they get Senga back tomorrow, which I don't know if it is a good thing or not.
Hmm.
Lindor is playing in simulated games, could be back within maybe, a couple of weeks. So, the whole thing that I've been reading basically the last month and a half has been the Mets are going to try and stick it out and see if they can piece it together until all their guys are healthy. Then they will make the decision if they need to sell or not. And so they're kind of in that period right now. They kind of have a brutal schedule coming up. Reds were probably one of their softer matchups this month, and I mean it's against Chase Burns, so not surprised. But with that being said, the Mets play the Braves and the Phillies a lot the
Yep.
rest of season.
Hmm.
They play the
Yep.
Phillies 13 times, and they play the Braves 10 more times. So their destiny, it's like Aaron Boone when he's like, it's right in front of us. It is right in front of the Mets. They can make up some serious ground with these head-to-head battles against the Phillies and Braves. Whether or not they do that is another question. I'm not so
Yeah,
confident.
but listen, the Nats have been playing really good
Yeah,
baseball,
no,
man.
they have.
The Cardinals. I'm like,
Oh
if
yeah,
there's a team that is collapsing, obviously San Diego is one of the teams where you're looking like, okay,
San Diego.
that's
Yeah,
a
they look pretty bad.
that's a team that we can potentially
Hmm.
see. But listen, man, the D-backs are still highly competitive. The Marlins are at 500. The Pirates are at 500.
Pirates
The
have kind of
Cubs.
shown their true colors a little bit
Yeah,
lately.
so I definitely think there's some teams where you can make up ground, but I still think the D-backs and the Nats are going to be extremely competitive. They
Oh
still have
yeah,
yeah.
it's
So
it's definitely
I
an
yeah
uphill battle. I mean, they
yeah,
they are the
but
third
yeah
worst team in the NL. Like
yeah,
that's a fact. And
but
they're
I
playing the
but I
fourth.
definitely.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that it's extremely important. Obviously, they're not going to win tonight, and now they're going to be 6.5 back of the wild card.
Hmm.
When the game ends tonight. But hey, I'm like, listen, if they do find a way to win the next two games, then they're all tied up with the Reds for that wild card, and then they
Yeah.
hopefully
Yeah.
can keep it pushing.
Like we've been
Because
saying all,
yeah,
all, all season lately, it's been the Mets need to win series. It's not good enough to win 1 out of 3 or split 2 out of 4. You need to win 2 out of 3, or you need to win 3 out of 4. So it's time to put up or shut up with the Mets because yeah, they're kind of lucky, honestly. The NL's kind of just so mid. Like it is so mid. Compared to the AL. Actually, compared to the AL, they're pretty good. The AL is so weak, but the NL is mid.
yeah, the
Um,
NL the yeah, I'm like the NL is significantly better than the AL this
yeah.
year. I'm like all things considered, pretty much the majority I think of the fridge wildcard teams would be in the wild card
Hmm.
right now in the AL.
Yeah.
So
Or
like the
close
AL
to it.
has
Yeah.
or close to it. So that overarchingly the AL has actually really struggled
Hmm.
this year, which should be interesting to see, how things turn out in Philly to see if that translates to potentially an all-star win for the NL. Finally, speaking of, did you see? Shout out Braves fans. Ha-Seong Kim has the fifth most shortstop votes
Yeah.
right now, dude. we
The
need to
fan
have
voting needs to be fixed.
It's so stupid. It is so incredibly
Teoscar
stupid.
is currently in the top 6 in outfield, and then you also have James Wood not in the top 6 for outfield.
Not
Like,
in, not in, not in the not in the
what?
top six. I'm like Kyle. Like obviously it's difficult going up against, and I'm just pulling this up
Yeah, pull
right
it up
now.
because I'm curious about the. I know
But
Dom Smith
but
was third. I know Baldwin was leading. I know Olson was leading.
okay, so right now, so Baldwin is leading. Baldwin 100% is going to be in Philly.
Hmm.
Um, the closest race right now is Freeman and Olson.
It's funny. It's pretty funny.
Only 68,000 votes separates them. So if you're Braves fans, lock in,
Who's in
vote for
third? Is
Bryce.
Devers? Oh, okay. And
Yeah,
he's close
Bryce.
there too.
Over 200,000 votes away
It's close enough.
from close enough, but I'm like it's going to be Olson and
Yeah.
Freeman. Second baseman Ozzy is leading the charge. Ozzy will be the starting second baseman in Philly, which is interesting because Stott is almost 150,000 behind him. So
Hmm.
hey, Phillies fans, vote for your guy, man. I'm like that would be super embarrassing if Ozzy beats out Bryson Stott and
In
starts
Philly.
at in Philly. That would be absolutely hilarious. Third baseman, it's Max Muncy. Just I'm like by a long shot. Hey, once again, hey, Phillies fans, vote for your guy. I'm like, this is insane. I'm like almost 600,000 votes ahead. Like Phillies fans, what are you doing? Shortstop, CJ Abrams and Mookie Betts. That is insane, man. Only what is that?
Betts
Like
has sucked.
8,000 votes. Betts has been one of the worst shortstops in the
That's
league this year.
worst players.
One of the worst players. I'm like, he ruined Yamamoto's perfect game. I'm like, that was just absolutely terrible. I'm like, yes, Yamamoto did give a home run, but I don't know. You just know the baseball gods
Yeah,
made that
yeah.
home run happen. But yeah, CJ Abrams should
I think
100% win
Terang.
that.
I think Terang will beat out Stott. By the way,
Really, yeah.
he's
It's
had
super close.
such a
Yeah,
better
super,
season.
super, super close. Designated hitter. I'm like, there's no reason to talk about it. I know Tony's gonna win it. And then outfielders. The top six are Pajes with 800,000, Acuna with almost 700,000 votes. Listen, it's Ronald Acuna Jr. People love him.
I don't
There's
think
a
he'll
very
play though.
I'm like, I don't think he'll play, but I'm like, he's gonna be voted. I'm like, he
Yeah.
will. He'll win. Obviously, Brandon Marsh, and then Michael Harris. So I think there's a highly likelihood that the starting is Pajes, Marsh, and Harris. Like that. I think that that's a very very high possibility. I'm like
Yeah.
Teoscar is about 100,000 votes behind Harris, and then the sixth is Walker. So obviously we'll see what happens.
Seven, eight,
But
nine would be my would be my outfield low key. Wood, Carroll, Soto is probably who
yeah,
I would vote for.
yeah, I'm like, obviously, I'm sure that's who you would vote for, but I don't
Yeah.
think that's who it's going to be.
No, I know. It's just
Yeah,
crazy that
yeah,
none of them are in the top
yeah.
six
The
right now.
fan vote, yeah, as we were talking about, the fan vote is ridiculous. I'm
Yeah.
like, it sucks. I like, obviously, if you want to have the fans included, you can do it. But realistically, there should be a committee that looks at stats,
Hmm.
looks at production, and says it's this and this and this and this and this.
Like the way it
And
is for pitching. Why
yeah,
do we not choose?
yeah,
Yeah.
why are we not doing it? Obviously, I don't want it to be like the NBA where it's
Right.
like, oh, it's LeBron James and Wilt Chamberlain or whatever, and friggin' like picking their teams like
We've
that.
lost
That
the
stuff.
plot. We've
Yeah,
lost.
that's stupid. But yes, it should be a committee. They should pick it, and that will be the best product. The fan voting is stupid.
And yeah,
It's
maybe someone that should be an all-star this year, Bo Bichette, player of the
yeah,
series.
play.
Not
Yeah,
not
not an all
actually.
star, but
Not actually.
certainly player of the
Although
series. Certainly player of the series.
I don't know, man. I don't know. He should not be an all-star, that is correct. However, I think he could, and he said this before the series. He said, "I think I could still end up where I want to end up at the end of the year." Like I think he could easily hit 280 the rest of the season. Like to
Oh,
finish
100%.
280. So that would mean hitting like
The
310.
conversation shouldn't be easily. He should. He
Yeah,
should.
yeah.
Bo Bichette hit 280.
He
You
smokes
need
the ball,
to do it.
and
He
yeah,
smokes
this
the ball.
in the series, 6 for 11, 4 runs scored, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Just an incredible weekend. But we did see this a couple weeks ago. We saw a great series from Bo, and then he followed it up with like a 6 for 45 stretch. So we need to continue to see it. This is great, but we need to see him build upon this. This can't be the peak.
Eli White, easily player of the series. He literally single-handedly won a game for us.
The
But
only game.
I want to finish the pod. I want to finish the pod today. We got to talk about the clip that we posted of you talking about Brandon Nimmo and Semyon. People are cooking you in the comments. They're saying that you completely lost the plot, and I agree with them.
Oh, come on.
Like the dude posted the baseball reference thing that you posted, clearly showing that Nimmo is having that is a significantly better season.
I said it's closer than people think. I literally.
But it's
and
not.
listen,
It's not. That was the hilarious part
Semyon
about it.
hit a home run that your boy Michael Harris couldn't catch the other day. Did you see that? That was insane. I thought he caught it for a second. But
Yeah, I did. I did
bro,
too.
I'm telling you, at the end of the year, he is going to finish with a better statistical season than Nimmo. I promise. This is
I'm
gonna
like,
be
you're more than welcome to think that.
I'm standing on business. 10 toes down, bro. 10 toes down. I'm standing on business on this one.
agree. And people in the comment section agree with me.
I gotta check it out. I haven't seen it in a couple days. I gotta see what they're saying
Mets fans
about
are
me.
a little Mets fans commenting are a little annoyed with you about that. You should take
Whatever.
a
I'm
look.
sick and tired
You
of.
should take
I'm sick and tired of people talking to me about Pete Alonso. Man, they didn't win anything here. Who gives a shit? New blood.
Okay.
New blood.
New blood.
That's
New
all I'm
blood.
trying to say. That's all
Well,
I'm
we'll
trying to say.
see. Congratulations, the series, the year for the series lead.
Hang
is
the
now
banner.
with the Mets.
Hang
with
the banner.
Mets. Well, we will check in. We will check
Beat
in.
the Braves in June.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, that is it. Thank you so much for joining, and we will talk to you soon. Bye bye.